regard to your constituency, even though a lack of facilities may perhaps have precluded the constituency signing up a pre-game training camp, it wouldn't preclude, for example, a community sports festival taking place in the park with the presence of Olympians. So there would still be opportunities for engagement pieces.
Yes, there are sports development people working all over the country, and I know that they are readily, and open to do things, engage in sport, engaging youngsters. I hasten to say that a lot of this is about funding and making sure that we have the right funding placed in place for people to be able to conduct these programs and schemes, and having the right programs put in place, and that can be done.
Jonathan.
Thank you, Chairman. Mark, you mentioned the community sports festivals, and your brainchild, the Taking Part project, is a very ambitious project. Could you perhaps tell us, where you're up to with it and how you intend to deliver it?
Yes, well, the idea, as you aware broadly, is to deliver a series of community sports festivals, starting with a trial event this coming summer. And please do all come along if I can mark your dance cards for the 25th of July, in Mile End Park. Why Mile End Park? Because it allows for the testing of the co-location of a number of sports facilities. There's a good track, a good swimming pool and so forth, and it allows us to prepare for the ambition in 2011, which is to have a series of community sports festivals on the 24th of July, the Sunday of Low Cogs Open Weekend, which was a very successful programme. And the chain of events, chain of festivals throughout the UK would be anchored by a major festival inside the Olympic Park itself, opening up the Olympic Park for the first time for community use and grassroots sport use. And
so what happens at these festivals? What's a typical day at one of these festivals?
Well, a typical day will start at a reasonable hour in the morning. It's not your standard 10k race where you're expected to be at an industrial park on the outskirts of town at 8 a.m. to go running. A typical day will involve 25,000 people, of which 15,000 would go for a walk before coming back to the festival. The whole of the 25,000 people would get to attend the festival. The festival would be something that transcends sport, goes beyond sport, looks at physical activity, bringing in dance, for example, which is extremely popular with young people right now, and cultural elements. Again, it's this notion that to reach the sedentary, you create a series of festivals that are more than just about sport, because people aren't going to go down to the park for a sports day. So you have something that's more fun.
And these activities are all free, are they? Are they free?
Yes, there would be a ticketing issue only for the 15,000 people who are doing the walk. For the festival element would then be free after the walk, and for the further 10,000 people at each of these events, they'd be able to go with no barriers to entry straight to the park and take part in the festival on a free basis.
And how are you marketing this? How are you letting people know about it?
Well, the idea there would be to work with commercial partners. And if you look at the reach of the commercial partners involved in the Olympic Games, you see that it's astonishing. For example, if I may take one funder of the Olympic Games, the National Lottery, which has done so much to fund British sport ever since it was created. They reach they get to within 2 miles of 96% of the UK population through 28,000 of those screens. So they have tremendous reach. If you look at the Olympic partners in the UK in general, there are nearly 1 million employees. So you can reach 1 million people just by going to the employees of the Olympic partners, and that's before you've even counted their families.
Yeah.
So reach isn't really
Is it these same sponsors who are funding Taking Part?
The idea, yes, is to work within the Olympic commercial framework.
Yeah.
If you would like to do something with an explicit Olympic link, then clearly you're constrained by that commercial framework. That said, there does seem to be a hearty appetite for these festivals.
So there's sufficient funding available for this?
I believe so, yes, on an ongoing basis, although I'm in discussions with DCMS and Department for Health with regard to some seed funding to get the first year's event up and running. Thereafter, there is no central government call on public funds.
Yeah. And what evidence is there that these sort of one-off community events actually do increase sporting participation?
Well, it's really about the way they're designed. The people in sports development, the world have been doing come and try days since time immemorial. In order to make them effective, you have to make sure that the local community clubs are engaged. So you have to make sure that the things being delivered with the local community clubs providing the come and try sessions in order that people will then have a relationship with that club. So to give you an example, I've had some discussions with regard to Mile End Park and the test event there. The idea being that even though Olympians may come from all across the UK to paddle on the Regent's Canal, the community engagement piece would be run by the community sports club that is going to be the tenant of the new Whitewater course up in Broxbourne. So you make sure that local people are being connected with local providers, who they may even know already.
But these community sports festivals you're organising are in London?
No, they'd be national.
They'll be national?
It would be a national chain, yes.
Yeah. So following on from Adrian Sanders' point, if anybody in my constituency in Lancashire, you know, if the local authority wanted to set up, could they come to you for advice?
Absolutely. We set up a model that is revenue neutral for local authorities, because we understand that's something that local authorities like, and provided certain issues such as the provision of the park and some help with waste management and road closure. So that is absolutely something that we could talk to. In fact, the Local Government Association has been most supportive with regard to the opportunity to roll out communication about the events to local authorities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.